Hello my loves, thank you so much for spending time with me today. If you are new here, my name is Sarah, as you saw in my channel name, and I am a full-time educator, but I also, like to maintain a certain style of lifestyle, so I took on this kind of side gig, which is reselling on a couple of different platforms like eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari. In this video, I'm focusing on what's sold on eBay. I promise you, reselling, it's really not that difficult. Buy something for cheap, sell it for a little bit higher, and either reinvest the money that you get, enjoy the money on the spot, or, just keep growing. Some people want to take this lifestyle on full time and resell full time. I really just want to take the extra income and enjoy the, good things in life. I was able to recently buy a rower for work and get my workout in and work, and I use the money from reselling to do that. I also bought a Frontier Unlimited pass, which I'm waiting till May to see how that's going, from my profits from reselling. So if you want to learn about what is selling on eBay so you can enjoy a little bit extra in life, or if you want to take this full time, continue watching this video. At this time, of course, if you're not yet subscribed and you want to continue to learn how to make that extra income, now would be the time to hit that subscribe button. That allows my videos to continue to show up on your homepage and the homepage of others, and we can continue to learn and grow together. But let's go ahead and get into our sales. I do have my phone here, and that's what I'm looking down on, making sure that I get all the sales for you, all the information out to you, so that you know what you could possibly pick up, if it's, of course, cheap enough for you. I do have a very low average cost of goods. I have about a $2 cost of goods, so I'm okay with letting things go a little bit cheaper, such as this very first piece that sold in the month of December, specifically to eBay. It was an almighty tie-dye pair of pants. These sold for $10.99. They did come from a ThredUp rescue box, in which my cost of goods was just over $1. It was like $1.13 on this, so I still made money. This also was a repeat buyer buying this item, so people are welcoming back or coming back to my store because they know that my product is good. So it's really good to keep your reputation up. If somebody's asking you questions on eBay, go ahead and answer the questions on eBay. If somebody's asking for measurements, if you are shipping on time, or if you're shipping early, people are tending to come back to my store because they know that the stuff that I supply them and my shipping time is, pretty quick. This next item that sold came with positive feedback, same thing. People are realizing that my store is a good reputation. This was a 9 West pair of heels. These were a donation to me, so it was completely profit to me. They did sell it for $5. The buyer did pay just under $16 for shipping for them. This next piece also came with positive feedback. It was a time and true women's dress. This came from a ThredUp rescue box. Same one that my cost of goods was, just over the $1. This sold for $2.25. Obviously, I didn't make any money after fees on eBay for that, but it was something out of my house, and it's triggering the algorithm, giving me positive feedback so that I can get into the higher price sales. Because if you didn't watch my goals for January video, I really want to hit that $3,000 mark for my 90-day total. Right now, I don't feel like I'm close to that at all, but I am keep pushing. I'm raising my prices a little bit more. I'm listing more pieces as well, so I'm hoping that I'm going to hit it by the end of January. I am going on a week-long cruise, in which I am going to have to put my store on a 7-day ship time. So I'm a little bit nervous about what that is going to do to my store if I am actually going to hit that $3,000 mark. It might end up being a push over to a February goal instead. By the way, when you do go on vacation, for me, I just push out my shipping time. I don't put it on vacation mode of any sorts. I've never put it on vacation mode, so I can't really tell you what it would do to my store because I don't have that experience, but from talking to other people, it sounds like the better idea to just, you know, put your shipping time a little bit longer. That way you don't get caught in, you know, not shipping on time if you just hold your regular shipping time and then go on vacation, because that is a ding against you, brings you down in the algorithm, and your pieces are not shown as much. So that is what I am going to do when I do go on my vacation. But I don't think I'm gonna hit my $3,000 mark like I really, really want to. I'm doing everything I possibly can to try to hit it and try to prepare for that ahead of time though. Back to the sales though. This piece, this next was a next level men's apparel piece. This was a donation to me, so it's completely free. It sold for 99 cents. The buyer did pay for shipping. It gave me positive feedback, raised me in the algorithm as well. This next item came from a ThredUp rescue box. This was a Brandy Melville front tie, like it was kind of like a blue gray cardigan, kind of a hard color to describe the mixture of the two colors. This sold for $6. The buyer also did pay for shipping for it. If you're not familiar with Brandy Melville, it is kind of in like the younger generation. It is something that kind of sells on Depop and different sites like that. They are one size fits all, and it's like different pieces that the younger generation kind of seeks out. So if you ever see a piece by Brandy Melville, if it is cheap enough, I recommend picking it up. If you are in a model of, you know, like going to the bins and then going straight to buy, sell, trade, definitely recommend picking up Brandy Melville because they will take it, it will sell. Probably not for very much, as you saw in this example, but it sells like that. Getting positive feedback, picking it up in the algorithm. This Banana Republic skirt came from a ThredUp rescue box, which, by the way, I'm kind of getting away from the ThredUp rescue boxes because this only sold for $1.99. I do still have 2 boxes sitting in my garage that I need to unbox. I had so much inventory donated to me that I haven't been able to get to them, but I think I might be done with ThredUp rescue boxes, at least for the time being. You know, my phrase of the year is lean in, so if something changes with ThredUp and, you know, people are saying all of a sudden ThredUp rescue boxes are amazing, I might lean back into it, but for now, I'm kind of taking a step back because this Banana Republic skirt selling for $1.99, that ain't it for me. This Tommy Hilfiger polo shirt came from free inventory that was donated to me. This sold for $10. I also received positive feedback on it. Again, focusing on that positive feedback to try to raise my, I don't know, step in the algorithm so people can see my items and I can earn more money in January, trying to get to my $3,000 goal, and then of course moving on to February as well. This next piece came from a ThredUp rescue box, so it sold for 99 cents. It was a Gildan Grand Canyon shirt. No, just kidding. This didn't come from a ThredUp rescue box. This came from the free inventory that was donated to me. So the 99 cents, you know, after fees, I basically gave it away for free, but it was something out of my house. I was kind of in the habit of it just accepting anything that was donated to me, and I'm trying to be a little bit more intentional of what I'm picking up, but in December, I had not yet implemented that. Moving into January, I'm starting to get more, you know, aware of what I am selling. If it's not going to sell for $10 or more and it's going to sell for the 99 cents, I'm not even wasting my time listing it. This next piece sold for less than $10. As you can see, this was an Into women's blouse. It sold for $5. It did come from a ThredUp rescue box. Another piece from a ThredUp rescue box. This was a Loveappella black floral maxi skirt. It sold for 99 cents. Something out of my house because I was just taking trash. It did sell for the, oh my goodness, losing my words here. The shipping was overcharged a little bit more, so I guess I made out a little bit, but really not that much, not worth it at all. I don't recommend it. This next piece that sold came from free inventory. It was Next, and this was a Next yellow linen dress. This sold for $6. The buyer did pay $3.99 shipping for it, so we did split the shipping cost. I need a little drink on my Starbucks. Does anybody keep the little stopper like literally all day? Like, this is my morning coffee that I'm still drinking, and it's after work right now. Yes, I drink coffee all day, as you can probably tell. But I think this is meant to keep the heat in, but I am so afraid of bugs and different things getting in my drink, so I keep the stopper all day, even though this is most definitely cold. But even with water bottles or like not empty glasses, I'm just so afraid of leaving anything open. It's just, I don't know. It's a weird quirk of mine, I suppose. Is anybody else like that? You don't like leaving drinks open, even if you're in your own house? This next piece came from a Amazon pallet, in which my cost of goods was 50 cents. This was a pink sweatshirt. It sold for $6.10. The buyer did not pay for shipping. I did, so it was free shipping to the buyer. But because it was 50 cents and I have made so much money on that pallet so far, I was okay with getting rid of it. I also was able to wear this sweatshirt, so it was almost like it was free inventory because I did get about a year's worth of wear out of it. This next piece, I also got some wear out of it. It was a JCrew linen sweater. This came from a thredUP rescue box. I wore it, also put it up for sale. I have no shame in my game. If it's my size and it doesn't have the tag, I wear it. If it gets ruined, I just take it down. Not a big deal to me. This sold for 99 cents, and the buyer did pay for shipping for it. We're on December 18th now. This Barney's New York button-down shirt. It was a men's button-down shirt. Came from a flip lot in which my cost of goods was $2 because I did buy out the flip lot. A lot of the stuff from that particular lot was completely damaged. I did make a video about it, so I will link that video in the description. It was pretty bad. A lot of people said you should not have accepted that lot. I don't know. That was when I was just starting with flip and I was accepting anything. I really had this goal at the end of 2022 to just get as many listings as possible into my closet, so I was accepting anything. And if you're just starting out, I do not recommend that. Please, please, please do not focus on the number of listings in your store or in your closet. Whatever platform you're on, it's called different things. Focus on the money that you are making. I completely changed around my business model for 2023, focusing on I want to make $60 a day. But because I have so much of this old inventory, I'm really just trying to get rid of things at this point, but also at the same time trying to raise my prices a little bit more to get people that are repeat buyers used to my prices being a little bit higher. But this Barney's New York shirt that I got for $2 sold for $12, so I did make money on it, but because I was just accepting anything just to get my numbers up in terms of numbers of items listed. Looking at the next item that sold, this was a Lululemon tank top. This sold for $7.70. It did come from a thredUP rescue box. If you're looking at Lululemon, I recommend you look at bottoms, like sweatshirts. They have some dresses, tank tops. They do really go in kind of the $10, $7 to $10 range. So I don't think that this was necessarily undersold. That's just really how much they kind of go for is what I've noticed looking at sold comps from other people as well as myself. So because this came from a thredUP rescue box, I did make money, but thinking of how I'm trying to be intentional and what I'm picking up now, I probably would not pick this up on my own, but because I had it, I was listing anything that I got. On December 21st, I sold a pair of Nike Air Jordan men's shorts. These came from a flip lot, which my cost of goods was $4 because I did buy out that flip lot. These sold for $16. The buyer also paid for shipping. I did overcharge on shipping just a little bit because I just went with the recommendation that eBay automatically filled in, and then when I went to go actually ship out the item, it was a little bit lighter than they had thought. So I guess I did kind of make out on that. On December 22nd, I did sell 2 items. The first of those 2 items was an H&M dress. This sold for $6. It came from free inventory that was donated to me. The buyer did pay for shipping for it. Now I will say I did receive positive feedback on eBay from this listing. The buyer was, you know, happy that I was willing to work with them and whatnot. But the buyer did say, I don't know if you know this or not, but H&M seems to run a little bit smaller than other companies. I didn't think it was my responsibility to put that in the listing. I am hoping that people are, 1, reading the measurements that I put in the listing, and 2, they know the company that they're buying from. If you didn't know, H&M, yes, their sizing is a little bit off. I always go 1, sometimes 2 sizes up in H&M because I do wear H&M for myself. So I don't know if you care to know that. If you didn't know that, H&M does run small. Be conscious of that if you are buying for yourself or if you are wanting to list that in the listing. But again, the buyer was, you know, I told them yes, H&M runs small, and they were okay with it. I did say that you can go ahead and return, but it did sell with the global shipping program. That means it shipped, you know, somewhere that is not in the United States, and it just, for this cost of $6, it didn't make sense to pay the shipping back. So I said, you know, go ahead and resell it, donate it to somebody, it's yours. Enjoy. The second piece that sold on December 22nd came from a thredUP rescue box. This was a vintage Torrid dress. This sold for $19.99. So thinking of thredUP and, you know, the 99-cent pieces to the $19.99, I would say this was a good sale from a thredUP rescue box. The buyer also did pay for shipping for this one. Getting more into like the Christmas time, December 23rd, I sold an Alfani black and red geometric print long sleeve shirt. If you didn't know, Alfani, I believe, is a Macy's like house brand. This sold for 99 cents, and of course it came from a thredUP rescue box. I did accidentally overcharge on shipping for it because I did just go with the recommendation from eBay, so I guess I made, you know, a little bit of money off of this. Basically just, you know, it was a wash between my cost of goods and then the platform fees. Going into Christmas Eve, December 24th, I sold an Escada quilted cream and white button-up blazer. This sold for $17.40. This did come from a flip lot in which my cost of goods was $4 because I did buy out that lot, so I did make money. You know, thinking of my strategy, moving on into January, February, as long as it takes to kind of turn my store over, I don't know that I would pick that up because it just, you know, even though it was Escada and you think that's a good brand to sell, this particular piece wasn't that sought after. On Christmas, December 25th, I did sell 1 item. This was a Brooks Brothers button-down shirt. This did come from a flip lot in which my cost of goods was $3 on this. This sold for $10.50. The buyer did pay $6.99 for shipping for it. It was a little bit less than $6.99 for shipping, so we did go ahead and, like, I don't know, kind of split the shipping costs for it. On December 26th, I sold a Burberry London red polo women's shirt. This did not have the size tag, but it was from a friend, so they were able to give me the size, and then I, of course, you know, put the measurements in the listing as well, just to be sure. This sold for $22.50 because it was a friend. It was on consignment, so I did have to go ahead and pay out my friend the 50% as well. Moving on to December 26th, I sold the Disney DVC Moonlight popcorn bucket, or Moonlight Magic, I think is what it was called. It was a specific night that Disney held for the Disney Vacation Club members, in which it was like after hours, and there was food and food tickets. The lines weren't as long. The 26th was actually a pretty busy day. I sold like 5 or 6 things on the 26th. Maybe people were, you know, shopping because they didn't get what they wanted for Christmas. Maybe just because they were off work, they were doing a little bit of shopping on their own. But the December 26th was probably my busiest day in terms of eBay. So on this day, I also sold a Lululemon tie, like hair tie. This sold for $6.50. The buyer did also pay for shipping. This came with some of the free inventory that was donated to me. I connected with somebody on the Nextdoor app, and I've been, you know, talking to them outside of the app for some time now, about a year now, and they, you know, just gave me a whole bunch of clothes. This hair tie was included in it. This next piece that sold on the 26th, I bought retail arbitrage on Black Friday. I did pay $70 for it. If I would have waited out a little bit longer, I probably would have made a little bit of money, but that was just me being scared at, you know, paying up for items a little bit more. As you know, I'm trying to like up my game a little bit. But anyways, this Alice and Olivia puff sleeve silk top, I paid $70 for. It did sell for $99, so I pretty much, by the time fees came out, had an even. I made a little bit of money on it, but not as much as I would have hoped. Still made money, still was an experience for me. I probably would pay up for this designer again, but I would be mindful of holding out for a little bit higher of a price. Also on December 26th, I sold an Easter basket. It was Despicable Me Minion Easter basket. This was from my mom cleaning out, you know, some old stuff. This sold for $17. The buyer did pay for shipping. What I do is when I sell something for my mom, because she lives in Illinois, I live in Florida, I just take the picture of the item that sold, send her the shipping label, and she takes care of everything for me, and I just get to keep the profit. So it, you know, kind of works out for me. Still on December 26th, I sold a Ralph Lauren plaid sweater dress. This came from some of the free inventory that was donated to me. It sold for $14.40. The buyer did also pay for shipping for it. Also on December 26th, also from free inventory, this was an Ann Taylor Loft black and white floral button-up shirt. This sold for $4.20. The buyer did also pay for shipping for it. I do wish I would have held out for a little bit higher, but it was something that was free and it was something on my door, triggering the algorithm, triggering positive feedback on that one as well. Now this next piece on December 26th also came from free inventory. It was Ann Taylor Loft white just blouse. This sold for also $4.20. Funny enough, the buyer also paid for shipping for it. Moving on to December 27th now. This Tinseltown denim jacket came from a ThredUp rescue box. It sold for 99 cents. The buyer did also pay for shipping for it. So if you notice, a lot of my lower sales came from ThredUp, which is why I'm kind of, you know, leaning back on ThredUp for the time being, at least. You know, like I said, things could change, but for now I'm kind of putting a pause on ThredUp, except for the 2 boxes that are sitting in my garage. I promise you I will eventually get to them, but I gotta get myself organized and kind of reframe my mindset here first. Also on December 27th, I sold a Tommy Hilfiger polo dress. This came from free inventory. This sold for $10.10. The buyer also did pay for shipping. The buyer overpaid on shipping a little bit because I did just do the automatic whatever eBay suggested, and then when I shipped, it was a little bit less on it, so I kind of made out on the shipping. On December 28th, I sold another piece from a ThredUp rescue box for, guessed it, 99 cents. This was a pair of black leggings. They had no brand, they had no size tag. I knew they were gonna go for hardly anything. Probably shouldn't have listed them, but I did anyways because I was just trying to get things out of my house that I got in these ThredUp rescue boxes. So yeah, these sold for 99 cents. The buyer did pay $5.99 for shipping for them. Also on December 28th, I sold a piece from free inventory. So I went from a $2 cost of goods, or a little bit less than $2 cost of goods for a 99-cent sale, to free for this DKNY pink dress, sold for $15. So the free inventory is better than the inventory that I paid for in this particular instance. Actually, in a lot of the instances here, the buyer also did pay $10.85 for shipping for it. Oh my gosh, my ear. Sometimes when I'm at work, I have like this radio earpiece that I have to wear in this left ear, and I think it's messing with my hearing a little bit because my ear just sometimes, when I get home from work after hearing the radio in my ear all day long, it just feels a little bit funky there. So sidetracked on that, but that's the reality of, you know, being in education. A lot of people in like corporate world, I know you have radios and everything anyways. It's, you know, part of everyday life. I probably should switch my radio to this ear, but it's not as comfortable fitting. That's how it is. I'm probably gonna go deaf one of these days. But this next piece sold on December 29th. This is something from my mom, so she did all the shipping, packing, everything for it. This was a Hot Wheels piece. It was a 98 Subaru treasure hunt piece that sold for $4.25. The cost of goods on that was $1. So I did make a little bit of money on it, but you know, if you're selling like a lot of Hot Wheels over and over and over again and you're just turning and burning, I suggested if you're just buying it every once in a while, I do it just because it's kind of like a little fun thing to do between my mom and I. Moving on to New Year's Eve, December 31st, I sold this Time and True size small blue crochet top. It came from a ThredUp rescue box, and of course it sold for 99 cents. The buyer did pay for shipping for it. Also on New Year's Eve, I sold a Lewin gray sweatshirt. It had like all these cute little emojis on it. I thought it was really cute. I also did get it for free. It was a donation to me. It did sell for $20 and the buyer paid for shipping, and I got positive feedback on it. And the final piece to sell on December 31st, the last day of December, was another Hot Wheels. This was an HW Metro treasure hunt piece as well. This one sold for $2.99. I did get positive feedback on this one as well. So that was all my sales in December specifically to eBay. I also sell on Poshmark and I sell on Mercari as well. I do take some of this money that I get from the different platforms to reinvest and to buy different inventory, but I also, you know, just enjoy life with it. What's the point of working and having this little side income if I can't enjoy it? Again, different trains of thought. Some people are, you know, trying to be debt free. Some people are trying to quit their job. I'm just trying to enjoy my life, enjoy a little bit extra income. If that is something that sounds interesting to you and you want to learn about what I'm selling, but also what I'm doing to enjoy my life, and you're not yet subscribed, now's the time. As I said before, hit that subscribe button. My goal is always to grow and learn together. So if there's anything in my sales that you noticed, if you want me to try out different streams of income, I would be happy to explore that with you. Just put it in the comments below and let's start this conversation together.